Hey guys, this is Mickett with Titans, and I'm just going to do a quick kind of update or tutorial on the AQ, SuperAQ, which is Archer Queen, and some of the changes that have happened, the debuff to the healers, and how that has changed a few things, but at the same time hasn't changed everything. It's still a viable attack. I'm going to take this, I was going to show you a bunch of replays, and then they just did a maintenance break, and so I don't have that many replays to work with, but I don't think that's critical. I'm going to do a live attack, and that should be sufficient to be able to make it work. But just to give you an idea, if you look at my attack log, basically, you know, that top one, I didn't actually take the queen in. The things were just sitting out there, and I didn't have the queen ready, so I went with it. But you can see when I take the queen in for the super queen, 2,500, that one was 1,600, 2,700, and 2,000. That one I decided to just snipe there. There's one there that I got 1,800, and then this one, it only was 1,000, but it was, I more went for the gold. I just couldn't pass it up. And then this one I didn't even, I just let it walk around the outside, and because it was all in the collectors, and I just felt like it at the time. And then 2,500 in there. So I can't show you a lot of those replays in the. I guess this one would be reasonable to show. Maybe I'll show that one. I was thinking I didn't have that one, but I do have that one. The top one is, as I said, was just me picking up some stuff out of the collectors. But I can show this one and just show a replay of this. Okay, the basic gist with the SuperAQ, if you're new to it, is the idea is that you have to have a beefy queen. In fact, because of the update, your queen has to be a little beefier. That's one thing that has changed a little bit. So probably in excess of 20 for sure. 22, 23, up to 25 is even better. And so it doesn't work for everybody. It used to be much more applicable even to lower levels of the AQ. But basically the idea is the healers are going to keep the Archer Queen alive, and you're going to go in and try and have her just wreck everything. A couple keys to it is making the funnel because of the AI, the artificial intelligence for the Archer Queen. She tends to stray quite a bit, so you have to keep her on task. What I tend to do now, I've changed it since before, but I'm tending to go with a lot of archers, a few wall breakers, of course my 8 healers, just some sort of clan castle troops. Actually prefer not to have giants. I think that's what I have right now, but I prefer to have something that can kind of come in. The best is actually hogs of all things, because you can see once in a while you end up with a little trouble with a building or an AD, and you want to get rid of that. It'd be ideal to have a little beefier king, because sometimes you want to pull him in and get him into the action too as well. I've been bringing two haste spells, excuse me, 2 rage spells, 2 jump spells, a poison, and a haste. It could be 2 poisons, however you want to do. You got to have those 2 rage spells and at least 1 jump spell. I like to have 2. I'm not going to end up using 3 rages in any one raid. So you use what best, but the basic idea of how things have changed. I used to go with 2 heals and 2 jump spells, and I've gotten to the point where keeping the Archer Queen alive is a lot harder now that they've debuffed it. I still am bringing 8. In theory, it doesn't get much better after 6. It really significantly drops off. However, what I've found is I like to bring 8, because if you only have 5 or 4 healers on the Archer Queen, she goes down very quickly to be able to not have very much health. So what I do is I bring the extras, and then if it gets a couple shots in from an AD or something goes wrong, I have a couple of those backup. And I don't really need any more than the 92 archers to be able to make my funnel. The way I used to do it, or a way that I would do it, if you're doing it for speed, you don't get quite as much DE, but you can make minions too, but it does go faster because you can utilize both your Dark Barracks and your so making like 24 minions, because you can use both barracks at the same time if you wanted to boost, if that's what you want to do. I haven't been doing that. I've more just kind of been going in with the archers and trying to clear out those. Making a funnel is the key thing with the archers. You want to make it so the Archer Queen is coming down. Let's say I'm attacking this one. I don't remember where I attacked this one, but I probably would, because of where the DE and the Town Hall are. I want to get to both of those, but I definitely want to get to the DE. But because of how they've changed things, the Town Hall is very important too. So if you're looking for a base, if you see them next to each other, that's a good thing. Actually, because these are in the center, you could come just about any direction. I believe on this one, I looked at this in the Expos, and you have to decide quickly to be able to attack, but the Expos were under construction, so I wasn't afraid of those. And you could come in from this direction, you could come from up top, you could come from over. This is because it's central, you can go just about any way. I think I might have come from the bottom. I tend to like to use these army camps as a way to kind of give a natural funnel. Well, let's see which way I decide to do it. No, I came in from the top. Okay. Or from the side. Okay, so I'm just using those archers, creating a funnel, and I'm just going to let her work her way in. What you don't want to do is don't let her stray. So I'm going to bring in some wall breakers, and I believe I break in on the first one, except for I fall a little short. I don't quite break in, so then I have to send another one. But let's see. Alright, so just getting those. Here comes, yeah, one of the guys strays across that way. That just drives me bonkers how, you can put them all in the exact same place and then they wander in different directions. That makes no sense. Okay, now I'm afraid she's going to start going over that way, so I start throwing down some archers to make sure she'll walk back towards the middle. Now, this is why having the jump spells is very handy. Look at that AD. Took down almost all of one healer. Just kind of give an example of how I want to keep her on task. Now look at the Archer Queen. She's not getting hit by many things at once. These sort of spread out bases are a little bit easier from that thing. If you have a more compact base, you just have to be a little more ready with her ability. But see, even the king is going to hit her hard, and she's not going to have a problem with that. This one doesn't seem to have clan castle troops there, unless they're coming out here real soon. But she's going to take that down that town hall. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and I'm going to throw some wall breakers in here, and they go over and break the side, which is not helpful. But I was just kind of bored. Had nothing to do at this point. It's just a waiting game. So they go and they break through in that way, and I'm like, oh brother, she's going to stray over that side. Oh yeah, there's a golem. I forgot that golem came out there. Now the golem is going to take up some time, but with the extra 30 seconds, not such a big deal. Just let her pound away at that guy for a little. Now I get a little greedy and I decide I might as well shape this up a little bit and come in here. So I bring in the Barb King. I remember doing that. And I'm willing to sacrifice him. You do not need him for the Super AQ most of the time. So I saw all that gold there, and while she was just waiting. As it turns out, I did have hogs in the CC. I now have giants in there, I know. But see how those hogs just took down those buildings? It just made it much easier. I'm going to drop my heal spell there. Give her no option but to go right up the middle there. Hogs are staying alive. That's why, by the way, I would usually bring at least one heal spell before, is I would actually throw in some extra hogs there. I wouldn't use them half the time, but once in a while I'd use them to shape them. And I've gotten out of that. I've gotten better at the funneling too. So now I just kind of let this one keep running. I'm going to speed through this because it's not the point. But you want to keep your queen alive. And so if she's going to start taking a lot of heat and you need to pop her ability, you just do that. Because this was so spread out, I really didn't even have to worry about that. I just popped that ability there just to kind of get her through, and I thought, I'll just quit. All right, so I used one jump spell there, and I used my wall breakers, and then you'd go through this thing, and it'd probably take another 35-40 minutes to be able to make a full stock there again. So, excuse me. So I'm going to go and do a live attack right now. Let's just do a double check to make sure I've got all my spells, everything. I've got my poison spell. That's very helpful, especially if wizards pop out of the CC. They will take your Archer Queen down to size. They will kill her if you're not careful. And I'd say I've only lost her once or twice since the update, but it happens once in a while. And so now one of the things about this rage, I didn't use one in the last one, so I may end up using one in this one. We'll see. The rage is what you use to be able to get your healers to get your queen up to full health very quickly. Before, she would just stay at full health and you didn't need those rages. Borrowed this a little bit from the AQ charge, which I've been using to some success on war. Basically when you go in with 6 healers, but then you're going to need that rage. Well, these rages are very helpful. Because if she starts to go down in health very quickly, you can bring her right back up with that rage. She does rage herself and goes a little faster, but that's really not the point. You have plenty of time. And then I have that extra haste spell that I just have in my CC, just in case I want to use that for something. All right, so let's go through and do attack. One thing that's a very ripe place now that didn't used to be is to go through and see your defense log and go through and do some revenges and just kind of click on them, because at least I've found I have so many more. Now this one's only 1430. I'm going to pass that one up, but you can see probably has about 500, probably, yeah, maybe 400 or so in those two outside collectors. Be really easy to get. I don't feel like it though. I'm going to show, because my point is here to try and show the SuperAQ for you. This is 1966. Let's not mess with that. Let's just go do one that's a nice high one. I even usually aiming. I think I'm a sucker for anything over about 2300 if I think I can get to it. If it's all in the collectors, and then it can be very difficult to be able to get all of it. So you just kind of have to pay attention. So let's go and do an attack. All right. Sometimes this takes a little while. It depends at what level you're at. The higher levels, you're going to find them quicker, more quickly. You shouldn't mess with a Town Hall 10 unless you can. Look at that. I mean, this guy's got that sitting out right there. Oh man, okay. If I wasn't doing this video. All right, so I'm just going to keep going. Don't mess with the Town Hall 10s because your Archer Queen is not going to heal while the Inferno is beating on her. Man, there's a lot of easy pickings here. All right, let's just go through this. I'll do a couple more, and if I need to do a cut until I find one, I can do that. But these are all bases that we can be able to hit pretty easily with the Archer Queen. The biggest key to it is to not let her stray. If she strays around the outside, you got to somehow bring her back into the inside using your jump spells, using whatever it is. See, there's a good example. Do not go after these, even if they have 3,000 or 4,000. It always ends badly. Oh yeah, I shouldn't say it always ends. Oh, here's a 2425. All right, let's go through and looking at this. So I'm going to want to get both the storage. You see there's a little bit. It's probably a total of 2400 or 2350 in it. So how am I going to go about getting this? Watch out for those air sweepers. They will push back your healers. So what I'm going to do is take it nice and out. Getting into that middle will be tricky. I could do a round robin on this and kind of go walking around the edges, and so you just have to be a little careful. So I'm going to try and do this. See if I can break in there with the wall breakers. Good, that was nice and easy. Make sure she doesn't stray too much here. And she should go up the middle. That air sweeper is closer to her. Let's see. All right, good. All right, now the tricky part is in that middle there, and I'm kind of keeping my eye on how her health is doing. That middle is far enough away that it could be tricky to get to. And this is a good example where sometimes I will use my Barb King and have him run right up the middle, because he often will go right after. If she's cleared out those buildings, he'll go right after the DE or anything that's really close there. All right, but I'm going to kind of let her work here a little bit. Got plenty of time. I'm not worried at all about the time. Just kind of watching for CC troops. No, she's taking some heat here, okay? So what I'm going to do is put that down quickly, and I'm going to pop her ability. I didn't want to, but I was talking, and I wish she would hit that Tesla. All right, come on. All right, here's an example where I might have to actually use 2 of these spells. All right, I'm going to use 1 jump spell in there. Once she takes care of that, she might jump across there. Let's see. I don't like not having her ability in the bag here. Make sure she doesn't stray over here. Yeah, I'm going to have to do this again. Man, this one is not working out like I want it to, that's for sure. But let's see what she does this time. Alright, so I'm going to bring the king in here. Not happy about it, but see what I can do with her. Alright, sorry, this one's being a little more of a pain than most of them. This one is specifically built such that it will have problems getting into the DE. Alright, there's my haste spell. This is a good example of like when all goes wrong, what do you do? Because she just can't reach that middle very easily. Alright. That's a real bummer. Now they've targeted the healers, but she finally got to it. Man, I'm going to lose some off of her, though, so that's a problem. So I'm going to quit here right after she takes down that DE storage. There we go. All right, so there's an example of all things gone wrong, and you can still kind of pull it out. That's a shame for that. I had to show that as an example. Maybe what I'll do is I'll cut this, and I will bring in another live attack just to be able to show you that. So that I can run through that again. It'll be about a half hour for me to run these things. I'm just going to, because I'm also making some war troops at the same time, and that's going to be tricky. So normally I just drop two of these in each one, and then go from there. So anyways, hopefully that's helpful in some way, but I'll be back in a little while, and we'll do another take to be able to do another live attack, one that was a little bit smoother, hopefully. Okay, so I'm going to go here and try and find another one here to try and see something that would be a little bit more normal. So let me go, and I should make sure that I have all my troops built here. I'm good. Somebody gave me a P.E.K.K.A for the clan castle troop. Not a big deal, but I will use that if I need to. But let's go through and just run through and see what we can find. Again, we're looking for something about 2,500-ish, just to be able to kind of show you this is doable. And you're staying away from the Town Hall 10s or the Inferno Towers. You could hit a Town Hall 10 if it didn't have Inferno Towers. Oh, look at that. There's an 11. That's pretty exciting right there. However, I don't expect to get anywhere near that, especially with the Eagle artillery. So let's keep moving on. Alright, this looks like a pretty decent base, just doesn't quite have enough DA. Okay, this one's good. Don't let those walls scare you. You're going to be going right over those walls. So what I'm looking for is these right there. I got to kind of pay attention to those ADs and then also my funneling. So sometimes it helps to put down some of the archers first. Because I'm going to be coming down this direction, because I just choose to, I'm going to go ahead and put down a few of these archers first, just on the side, then go ahead and drop her in there. And just kind of work it down here. The key is just to not let her stray and not let her die. So I'm going to pop this just so she will keep coming towards the middle here. I could put down wall breakers, but I don't know. I don't like messing around with that high level walls when I don't have to. Should be able to pull this off. Actually, at this point, I'm going to stay away. And I could put the king in there. It's a close enough shot here. I might as well throw him in there just to kind of guarantee that I'll get all the way in there. Of course, he's going to hit a wall. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, all right. So that's pretty exciting there. So maybe I will use these wall breakers. All right. And she's going to stray over there unless he takes some of that stuff out first. So, okay. There's the clan castle troops. Just got to kind of watch them as I go here. And they can take her down pretty quickly. So I'm going to pop the ability. She should go right around that wall here. Oh, she's going to hit the DE first. No, well, no. Then she's going to go get the queen. Now she's going to relock onto something else. Haven't had to use a rage spell yet, so that's kind of a positive thing. She's going to get back to that DE storage in just a bit, and hopefully I can woo her into going towards that town hall. Could be kind of tricky at this point. I've used up a lot of my troops to be able to get her to that point, but we'll see. She might just, if I'm lucky, step close enough to grab that AD and then over to the left. We'll see. If not, if I keep her here long enough, she might wander around. Oh, look at that. She stepped right up. All right. So we got almost all of it. We're going to get quite a bit here when it pops this last one because there's not much left in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and quit out of this once she takes that because there's no real reason to be able to take any more damage here. There we go. So easy enough. I was aiming for 2,500. Well, that was pretty exact, wasn't it? So, okay. So it just shows you that this isn't too bad, even on something that has pretty tough walls. To try and get in there with giants and everything else like that, unless you use earthquakes, could be pretty difficult. So it's definitely a viable attack style if you have a beefy queen. So anyways, hope that you found this helpful. Make sure that you like and subscribe and keep on clashing.